How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will? What is going on? Another week, a story of the fight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, if anybody is joining us. But this is Story of the Fight, where we talk everything mixed martial arts. My name is Romero. That's my boy, Will.
What up?
And we are trying to reach 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And also, if you just want to listen to us, Spotify, Breaker, Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM, anywhere podcasts are found. And you might also like to interact with us on social media.
Yeah, it's at Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Same thing.
Everywhere. Well, you're getting married soon.
Yeah. By this time next week.
You will be a married man by this time next week. You nervous?
Look at that. No, not really.
No?
No.
Are you like, I mean, not so much about like the marriage itself, but maybe just like the event that's coming up? It's a big event.
It's a big event, you know? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of moving pieces, you know? And you know, some things might get weird or like not work the way they're supposed to, or like be on time, you know what I mean? But it's just like at the end of the day,
when you invite people like myself and Kevin, you know, things will get weird. Might get weird.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But hey, man, I'm super excited for you. You know what I wasn't too excited for, though, this week was Cynthia Calvillo fighting this weekend, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I was excited about Marlon Vera versus Dominick Cruz. We have a legend, and Dominick Cruz has been doing this forever.
It's been a long time.
He's been doing this for a very long time. Hey, you know what? And still at a high level.
Still, I mean, has he ever been outside of the top 10?
Not that I can remember.
No, dude's been up there forever.
His first pro fight was probably in the top 10. You know what I mean?
This guy's been doing first pro fight was 2005.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's been, what is that?
A long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's got to be what, 17 years ago?
Something like that.
17 years ago. Wow. He's been doing it for a very long time. And then we have this fighter in Marlon Vera that is an absolute dog, man. He's becoming a fan favorite. So scrappy. Has such a good story behind him, too. So let's just go ahead and get started. Main event.
Yep. Dominick Cruz versus
Dominick Cruz.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think watching this fight, I was like, man, seems like Vera has a ton of power for the division, but he's not the best finisher, right? Like some guys are straight up finishers, like Dustin Poirier. When he smells blood, he's going to get you out of there. You know, like there's certain guys that are finishers. There's guys that can do damage, but then there's guys that can finish a fight. And when you look at Vera, you look at the Rob Font fight, and even the Frankie Edgar fight too, damaging people, but he had a hard time putting him away. Eventually, he got him with the front kick, right? Frankie Edgar. Rob Font, though, he just kept hurting him, and it was Rob Font active, outlanding him like crazy. But then Cheeto would land that shot, drop him, couldn't put him away. Happened like 4 times in the fight, and it started happening in this fight too, where Cruz is dancing around him with that footwork, with his patterns, all that stuff. And then he'd catch him with the short hook, and then he'd drop him, but he can't finish him. And he'd drop him again later, can't finish him. And then, I mean, look at that. You would think that's probably a finishing sequence, but no. But then he finished him. So, I mean, I'm wrong.
But I see what you're saying, though, man, because I wonder, how much is it that Dominick Cruz just has a great job or does a great job recovering? Because he did bounce right back up after he was dropped those times.
That's the thing. It's like that's what we credited Rob Font for, right? Like, man, the recovery on Rob Font is crazy. But then the next fight, it starts happening again. And it's like, is it their recovery? Or is it Cheeto not really being able to seal the deal? And then when you look at the guys he has sealed the deal on, it's like Frankie Edgar in 2021, where Frankie has a ton of miles on him. And now Dominick Cruz in 2022, when Dominick's got a bunch of miles on him.
Hey, he finished on O'Malley.
True. Broke his ankle, right?
Yeah. I mean, did he break his ankle, or was it just did his ankle just go to sleep from the calf kicks?
I think that one it did break. Could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe it just went to sleep.
Yeah, I want to say it was one of those situations where he kicks the nerve in the calf and it makes the foot and ankle go to sleep, and then you just finish him after that.
Oh, he broke his ankle on that Sukum Tao fight.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That was broken. This one wasn't. Correct.
But you're absolutely right. Again, another case of the powerful leg kick to Sean O'Malley, the kick, the front kick to Frankie Edgar, the power shots to Dominick Cruz. Now, I think it's a case of Cheeto probably being a little too patient.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, he's known to be a slower starter. He likes to take in reads. And, you have fighters that when they smell blood, they blitz in almost too recklessly.
There's a fine line, right? You don't want to be.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And I think Cheeto's on the opposite end of that spectrum where he's cautious when he does hurt somebody, but maybe a little too cautious. Mm-hmm. I mean, but who knows, right? Because yesterday, like I said, you saw him drop Cruz twice with that right hand, and both times Cruz popped right back up. So it makes me wonder, like, if Cheeto would have blitzed in,
could he have gotten sealed the deal?
I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. And I mean, it's Dominick Cruz, right? The guy's a vet. He's been fighting since 2005. So, like, he knows how to recover, unless it's Keith Peterson in there, not giving him the shot. But
I mean, after the loss, he's 24-4.
That's crazy.
What a phenomenal record, man.
Yeah, he's considered, bantamweight GOAT, maybe, for a long time, it was like, who can even solve this puzzle? And then, and then people started solving it. People started emulating it and figuring out what he was doing. He even says he has about 4 patterns that he goes into depending on where they're at in the fight. The way he mixed in the takedowns in the first 2 rounds was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. The way he'd cut the angle on it. He was so fast. He'd collect his hands and then cut the angle. And it was like so perfect. And I was like, man, he's going to win the fight if he can just keep doing that. But then Cheeto started sprawling everything heavy. And then I was like, uh-oh. Now we're just relying on now we're just relying on the footwork and the head movement. And then Cheeto's just stalking him the whole time. But Cruz looked good until he got caught. And then he got caught again. And then he got caught again.
And the thing
is, in between those moments,
with his footwork, it was so revolutionary when he started fighting that way. That people were like, "Oh, what's going on?" Like he's in, he's out.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's breakdancing. With his footwork, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!"
His shoulders drop all weird.
Yeah, but he's been doing it for so long. That exact same footwork for so long. People are gonna pick up on it, and then
there's so much tape on him.
Masterminds like Perillo that are sitting there, and they're just like have all these numbers running through their heads. Cruz is like doing all these moves, and they're like, "Dude, I know exactly what's gonna win this Cheeto."
Yeah.
The thing is, you see it, right? He does that little forward step, back step, left a little bit, hard right dodge, and then usually when he does that hard right dodge, he does a side step to end up on
angle out.
To angle out, and then he throws a couple shots himself.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him do that over and over again. I've seen him do it when the camera's on him in the locker room and he's warming up. He does it while they're calling his name and they're announcing his name. He's doing it. Yeah, doing the exact same stuff. So it's like, dude, somebody's gonna catch on to it, Cruz.
And Cheeto did it. If you watch the finish, every time Cheeto would throw the lead hand, Cruz would evade it heavy away from it. And if he threw the rear hand, he would evade it to the same side that hand's coming from. And he like feinted it a couple times and he was doing it, switched stances, throws the lead hand, Cruz dips away, and then he throws the high kick. And he almost landed that same setup and combo in the second round. But
and shout out Perillo, because even Cheeto said, he's like, Perillo told me the left kick's there.
Yeah.
The left kick's there.
And that
And
takes a special coach and it takes a special fighter too to be able to recognize that and put it together in there, especially against a guy like Cruz.
yep,
You know?
absolutely, man. Oh, Regeneration Nation TV. Can I just call you Regen? That's a long
Yeah.
name, but hey, shout out Regen coming back on, man. Greatly appreciate. By the way, hopped on his page. Good stuff. Followed him last weekend too. So he says, "Holy smokes, Cheeto Army with a gigantic W."
Massive.
He takes out the legend Frankie Edgar.
Yeah.
He takes out another legend in Dom Cruz.
Yep.
What is left for Cheeto Vera before he gets the title shot?
Well, he couldn't quite take out Aldo, right? Aldo beat him.
He couldn't. You're right. And Aldo's
but
still
that's the
ranked
thing,
above
too.
him.
Aldo's durable as hell. So like the guys that he is getting the finish now that he's here, Dominick Cruz, Frankie Edgar, not quite as durable. So in my opinion, if we match him up against a guy so if Petr Yan and Sean O'Malley is fighting Petr Yan, if Sean wins that fight somehow, there's no way they're not going to give him a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens, I would love to see Petr Yan versus Cheeto Vera. That would be the fight to make. But again, Yan is so durable. I don't know if the style, Cheeto's style, that low volume, I don't know if he can put him out,
Quick question.
Be interesting to see.
The Vera versus Aldo fight, was that a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder?
I thought it was 5, but it might have been 3.
I can't remember.
I'll find out right now.
Because if it was a 3-rounder, I wouldn't mind seeing him go at it again in a 5-rounder.
Yeah.
But
it was a 3-rounder.
Ooh.
But Aldo is fighting Merab Valishvili, I believe.
Nice.
They made that fight, right?
I don't know, but that's a good matchup too.
Regen says one more big fight. I just don't know what that fight is. Yeah, the whole everybody above him is booked.
It's tough.
How about this too?
If you're Cheeto, then do you just say, "Hey, just leave me in the sideline for a little bit. Let me see what happens in the mix there," right?
You just wait, yeah. Because if you look at the rankings, TJ's fighting Aljamain. Petr Yan's fighting O'Malley. Somehow they did number 1 versus 13. Aldo is fighting Merab. Sandhagen is fighting Song Yadong. And then there's Cheeto Vera. So, it's tough.
And Regen says, how in the world does Sean get a shot before Vera? It's not like Cheeto has been inactive. Their star power is pretty close. Ooh, I think Sean O'Malley has that huge, what is it, Twitch following? Or
he taps into a more casual base of like people who don't like follow the sport. People who don't follow the sport know who he is.
Our producer, Rich the Casual, probably knows who Sean O'Malley is. He just learned of Cheeto Vera this morning. Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but hey, by the way, welcome back, Rich the Casual, huh? He was in Vegas last week, and
thank God.
Man, we missed him. Yeah. Welcome back, Rich.
Welcome back, Rich.
But let me ask you this. What's next for Dom Cruz?
He was what? He was ranked 8 coming into this. I don't really think we need to see him fight ever again, honestly.
End of an era?
I'm Dominick Cruz, you just write, end of an era, passing of the guard, all that stuff. It is funny that when Cheeto was rising up and Dom was somehow still in like the top 5, he was calling for that fight, and Dominick Cruz like, get a couple wins before you fight someone like me, blah, blah, blah. And now that Cheeto's ranked 5 and Dom is ranked 8, Dom's like, yeah, I'll take the Cheeto fight.
Sounds good to me. And they're talking about like, hey, if Dom can get a win against Cheeto Vera, might mean title shot for Cruz. And you think about it, like, this guy's a legend. He's done so much for the sport. He's done so much for that weight class. Think about the bantamweight weight class. And he's a company man. And you see the company men sometimes get a little extra some. So
paycheck,
I figured,
but
well, they do when they commentate. But I figured, if he wins, I could see him getting a random title shot.
Well, how about this? Would it be random if TJ beat Aljamain and TJ was the champ and Dominick Cruz beat Cheeto Vera, ranked number 5? I would not be surprised if they made that fight. It's a rematch, Alpha Male versus Dom Cruz. Sail off into the sunset after that one.
One last time, you know what I mean? One last time.
I thought TJ won the first one, but what are you going to do?
I think Dom is still, like, going into this fight was thinking championship fight or bust.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And now that he didn't get it, I could see him say, you know what? I'm good, guys. If I'm not going to get another title shot, I am good. Thank you so much. See y'all later. It looked like DC almost cried last night when
Dude,
Dom got KO'd.
He did not want to interview Cheeto. You could tell he did not want to be in there, man. DC has a hard time, man, separating himself from, and he even talks about it. He's like, people always say I'm biased in the commentary, and he's like, yeah, I love these guys. Like,
Yeah.
I can't put it away. You know,
He's built
DC's
a lot of relationships over the years. You know what I mean? And Dom Cruz is his boy.
Yeah.
And you hear Bisping going, oh, Fitzgerald going, oh, DC silent, and he's usually the one that's jumping out of his chair whenever you see KOs like that. You know what I mean? And when they show the instant replay, you see DC in the background, dude. He looked so sad.
Well, sad. Man. I mean, look how sad we are when Ghost Pepper got finished by Jim Miller. We had that live like fight companion, and then Jim Miller finishes him, and we're just
we're all like high energy the whole time, and we're like, yeah, just the rest of the way.
Yeah. Regen says, I was heartbroken. Can't imagine how DC felt. He's a fellow crier. Yeah,
dude, for sure.
DC's a guy that wears his emotions on his sleeve, man. 100%.
Dude, and you know how much I love DC. And do you remember when, dude, I think it was at your house, DC versus John Jones?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You know, when he gets KO'd, dude, I almost cried. I was so sad. And that's after we had just sold him some product over at
we
the store.
just talked to him, too?
We had just talked to him. We're like, he's such a nice guy. And then you got KO'd, and we're like, no.
Yeah. I always remember that, how it was like his daughter's birthday or something, and we're like talking fights with him and stuff, and you can see his wife's just like, we gotta go, like we gotta get back to the birthday party, like what are we doing?
Well, wait, before you go, real quick, Nate Diaz or it's so funny. All right, man. Anything else on the main event?
Do you want to talk about the fighter pay real quick?
Oh, sure. Or do you want to talk about that then? It's up to you.
No, yeah, just real quick. It's kind of crazy that Dom's only making 175.
Oh,
former champ, legend of the division, maybe the best of the division ever. 175K.
How much did Cheeto pull in?
150 show, 150 to win. So you got 300K.
300,000. Not too shabby. Not too shabby from
shabby. Beat the belt. I don't know. Dominick Cruz also says that he does his own managing, no manager. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
but also,
who knows? It might be 175 flat rate.
No, that was a show money.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, but also no cut, no manager cut.
That's
so he doesn't lose that like 10%. Yeah, but also they fought in California, so rough taxes on that.
Yeah, it goes to Newsom.
It goes
to Newsom.
And who knows? Not to the road.
Not to the schools. All right. Well, we'll get into the next fight. We'll get into the next fight.
This is a political show.
The co-main event. Oh my God, so much fun. We had Nate Landwehr versus David Onama. David Onama,
gods.
A Glory MMA guy. He had the James Krause in his corner. Nate Landwehr, just a wild animal, man.
Literally a wild animal. You remember Game of Thrones, the Wildlings?
Oh yeah, that's
he's a wildling, dude. He's a wildling.
100%.
He's north of the wall.
David Onama has got some power on him.
He's got some hand speed on him too. That first round.
In the beginning, he reminded me a little bit of John Jones, and you're gonna say like, "Oh, you're crazy! Like the skill level isn't there." I'm just saying because for the division, he's long. He's a little lanky for the division, and he reminded me in the sense where he kind of tries to. Do the reach thing where he reaches out and then from there he's like, pop. Yeah, quick shot. Yeah, over and over again.
Just like John.
So I was like, you know what? If he can really just manage that distance and conserve some energy, he's going to be causing some trouble for late Landwehr tonight. Yeah. And then he catches Landwehr, boom. And then it's off to the races. And he's swinging. And he's trying to put him out. And maybe we're talking about opposite ends of the spectrum earlier today.
Yeah. Where Cheeto's maybe a little too patient sometimes. But Onama
maybe a little too aggressive there. Was it last week? Who was it where they were saying a calculated finish?
I don't remember. But this was not that.
No, not that. And Landwehr, tough as nails, man, survives. And what happens?
Yeah, I mean, Onama gasses, and Landwehr just puts it on him for at least the rest of the second round. They could have called it. I thought that was a 10-7 round. I don't think that was a 10-8. That was crazy. For the second round, that's a 10-7.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost stopped the fight multiple times. And it was funny because I was just telling my coworker, because we're gonna try to make an app that's to score fights, because Verdict is cool and all, but you can't just open up the Verdict app and if you're rewatching a fight and you want to score it, you can't do that. It has to be live. So we're trying to make we're gonna make a Story of the Fight app where you can just open it whenever, and like 5 people use it. But
and 5 people use it. It's you, me, Rich.
Yeah, but I was telling him, he was like, so what? He doesn't know anything about MMA, so he was like, how does the scoring work? Like blah blah blah. So I'm explaining it to him. He's like, okay, yeah. So I can just make a button that each time you tap it, it drops, and we can just have it cycle through 10 through like 5. And I was like, no. Like, we don't need to go to 5. Like, that's never gonna happen. And I was like, 10-7 is very rare. I don't even remember the last time I seen one. And but yeah, that being said, the first round, Onama reminded me of Vitor Belfort. That's who he reminded me of.
Okay.
I can see the John Jones comp with the hands.
Yeah.
But the way he was doing the marching punches was vintage Vitor, old school Vitor, early 2000s Vitor. Every step there's a punch, and just punching through somebody. Nate Landwehr, tough of nails, always, right? Shout out to Chris Cabrera, Nate the fucking Train, and Nate Diaz Landwehr.
The nickname's Diaz. That's awesome.
That's perfect. But yeah, Onama looked like a killer in that first round, but then completely blew his wad. And Nate Landwehr, you got to know coming into it, you can't just put this guy away. You know, you have to have a different approach against this guy, because he is insane and will just keep coming forward. And then he did. And then the third round was, I felt like I was watching a movie. It did not seem like it was a real fight, because first round, he drops Landwehr hard. He almost finishes him a couple times. Second round, he's exhausted. Nate Landwehr's beating the shit out of him. And
I think
it was brutal.
Krause asked him, do you want to go back out there? Yeah.
After the second round, they're like, do you want to keep fighting? He was looking for any reason to call the fight. You could tell. And I thought he was about to, and I was like, damn. James Krause, fantastic coach, not just for his reads and all this stuff, but he protects his guys.
Coach of the people.
He's like, get back out there. And I was like, oh God. This guy's done. But then Onama had some success in that third round. But Landwehr was still the fresher guy and was landing the bigger shots. And every time he'd drop him, or he'd be ground a pound, and then he'd stand up. Nate Landwehr just turns his back to him, starts pumping up the crowd as Onama's like
flexing,
somehow,
dude.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, that's
probably where the
crazy.
Nate Diaz Landwehr comes from, too. You know what I mean? The flexes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That last time that he drops Onama, though, and he turns and flexes, and Onama stands up like, oh, this mother, and he stands up and rushes him, just swinging. I was like, oh my God, dude,
so much fun.
And then Onama caught him a couple times, dude, with that long right reach. This is one right here.
Yeah, the third round was competitive. It was competitive. One of the judges gave it to Onama.
Oh God, so much fun.
Yeah, I think they got it right with Landwehr winning this fight. But
yeah,
I mean,
Onama, after that second round, how
are you going to come back from that? Unless you're Frankie Edgar, you can't.
The Muay Thai clinch, and he hit him with repetitive knees. Man, you can actually see the swelling in this picture that Rich put up, right above his left eye. Yeah, where it started swelling after one of those knees. But it was just such an entertaining fight, man. And going into this, the girls that fought before this,
Chris Cabrera, the flex is the peak of my night. It was awesome.
Tell me, whenever he flexed it,
man.
I started clapping at home like there's anybody else around me. My wife gets so annoyed when I watch fights, because I'm like, yeah. You know, he's flexing. There's just nobody else around me. No, but it was just such a fun fight. The fight before this, I thought the girls, I was like, hey, they're probably going to get
that's fight of the night.
Such a fun fight. Yeah. And then Landwehr and Onama come in and just absolutely blow that fight out of the water. And I was just like, oh God. Now I'm nervous for Cruz and Vera. How are they going to follow this up? It was just it was a fun night.
Yeah, and shout out Regen says Vitor Belfort versus Marvin Easton was the first MMA fight I saw when I was like 12.
Oh,
Classic.
that's awesome.
Old school. Back
That's
when
so
Vitor
awesome.
had no known weaknesses. But yeah. And then Chris Rivera says he just single-handedly became a more recognizable name by a fighter's fighter. No media attention needed. The interview was perfect too. Mama ain't raised no bitch. Yeah, he killed it, man. He absolutely
did.
killed it. His call-outs were great. He flowed perfectly. I mean,
And I think
the
this
guy
is
was just
just
pure
him.
entertainment. Yeah, that's
I
just
think
him.
it's just him. You know, like you'll see like a Julian Marquez where he's like
Yeah.
on the mic and you're like, oh, dude, how many times did he rehearse this?
Yeah,
This
and
is
still
kind of
mess it up
cheesy.
somehow.
And yeah, exactly. Triple C, same thing. This
Yeah.
guy, he's on the mic. He's just natural, man. And they
He
were
just got
talking
out of a
about him
war,
too.
man.
They're like the pre-fight interviews.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, dude, this guy's hilarious. You know,
Yeah.
he has some great quotes. Everybody loves Nate Landwehr. What's there
Yeah.
not to love?
Yeah. It's good. It's good time to be Nate Landwehr right now, I think.
It's a good time. All right.
Unless real quick, we'll just touch on it for each fight, I guess. But Onama got 24K for this fight before taxes, and Nate Landwehr was on 30K and 30K, so he got 60K.
24K before taxes. Great point. Before taxes.
Yeah.
Before paying the manager.
Before coaches.
Before paying the gym. Before paying the nutritionist. Before, I mean,
it's tough.
My guy probably walked away with like 7K. You know what I mean?
It's tough. California taxes, no joke.
And you want to be a fighter. All right. Yeah. Ready to move on to the next one?
Yes.
All right. So we touched on this a little bit earlier. Yazmin. Jauregui.
Jauregui. I don't know.
Jauregui.
There it is. You found it.
Yazmin spelled differently, not Yazmin.
Also Yazmin.
Iasmin. Yeah. Lucindo.
Yeah. So how about Jauregui? No nickname. How are we not the Jaguar?
Oh my God, Will, that's
how are we not the Jaguar?
Yazmin, the Jaguar, Jauregui.
It's perfect.
Man, that's so good. Call her right now.
Yeah.
Call her right now. Only take 5% though, because we know how much you're getting paid.
Battle of the Yazmins.
Undefeated. Came in undefeated.
Yeah, I was actually really excited for this fight. You could tell. I mean, most people probably like, oh, who are these people? But then it's like they're both making their UFC debut, right?
Yep.
And they're on the main card.
You can see why.
And they're the feature bout. Huh? Who are these people? And then it's like, oh yeah, they're savages. It was such a good fight, dude.
By the way, Jauregui is from the TJ camp that Brandon Moreno was at before. Yeah. Brandon Moreno apparently was talking her up in the past, saying that she will be a world champion one day. The biggest difference I saw,
skill set.
Both of them love to swing and bang.
Yep.
Swinging and banging.
Out here swinging and banging.
Lucindo, a lot of power. Just two Yazmins out in the world swinging and banging. Yeah. And Lucindo coming in with a lot of power, man. But you see this picture right here, crisp hook right to the face, right? Maker. Very crisp, very close. Now, Rich, if you go to the next picture, and you'll see Lucindo's punches coming in a lot wider. Reaching further distance. Yeah. And you see the step back right here from Yazmin.
The Jaguar,
yes. Just Lucindo in this one just misses her, and she comes back with the left, right? So it's just very technically sound, very tight for Yazmin. But Lucindo in this division,
they're both Yazmin.
One's Yazmin, the other one's Iasmin.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But you see, Lucindo, she has the power in this division where with other fighters, she's gonna land.
Oh, she's gonna crack.
And she's gonna be putting people out.
Yeah.
Both of these girls have fights.
Yeah, same. And it's there's jitters, there's things they're gonna tune things up based off this fight, all that stuff, right? Debuts are tough. Both looked very good for their debuts, and even though and Lucindo did show that she can be tight, right? Like there was some times where sometimes Jauregui would stay in the pocket a little too long, and when she did that, that's where Lucindo was tight, elbows in tight, throwing these short hooks, and was cracking her sometimes.
So then maybe it's the footwork of being able to come back in and stay within that close range.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And
right?
I mean, it's the footwork of both of them, right? Jauregui had good enough footwork to evade the long shots, where some girls are not going to be able to. She's going to set some people up, and she's going to throw the overhand from way out from across the cage, and she'll land it, and she'll drop people. It'll happen. It's just in this situation, Jauregui just kind of had better footwork, more evasive, Also the longer fighter, I think that helps too.
And it looked like Jauregui though enjoyed staying in that phone booth boxing distance for a bit, but then she would get cracked, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this girl cracks.
I kind of win this." We shouted out Kevin already, but Kevin Scogan was texting me, and he said, "What did he say?" He said, "Jauregui reminds me of that classic Latin boxers, Lucindo counterpunching, great fight."
Oh yeah,
that's what it is, man. That TJ boxing.
I love it. I absolutely love it, man.
Also,
Mexican fighting spirit.
Yeah, exactly. She had a choice, but
next Modelo commercial.
Did you see after the fight? She came out and Moreno was there with his wife, and they gave her a hug and stuff. Moreno's wife sobbing.
Yeah, loves that girl.
Close.
Moreno's wife, dime piece, absolute diamond. That's another topic here. All right. Anything else?
Also,
what do you got over there?
I keep forgetting to even pull this out.
What is it?
It's the old Brandon Moreno classic.
What? Yeah. Brandon Moreno autographed UFC glove.
Look at that.
Is that going right up next to the Pride glove? Shogun?
Going right next to the Shogun. It'll cover the hoist.
Oh, hey. Right on.
We'll find a spot for it.
Beautiful piece of memorabilia there.
Yeah, so what did they get? Lucindo got a cool $12K for that fight before taxes, before paying all that stuff, travel, all that stuff. Jauregui got $50K. So she got 25. So I don't know who her manager is. Maybe it's the Moreno pull.
Maybe.
But not too bad to make your UFC debut when I think a lot of casual fans probably don't know who you are. And you're making double what most people make on their debuts.
That's awesome. Cool. Good for her, man. Good for her. Yeah. And I thought, again, going at the end of the fight, I was like, well, there we go, man. Both of them with their debut and both of them getting $50K. Yeah. What a start, And then Onama and Landwehr. Thanks a lot, Nate Landwehr. All right, we'll go on to the next
money away from people. Yeah.
We have Azamat Murzakanov versus Devin Clark.
There's every once in a while there's an older prospect. Like they're not always the young phenoms, I mean, look at this guy.
Not always. This guy coming into this fight at 11-0, so another undefeated guy. Born in 89. So what is he? He's 32?
33.
33. 33. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this guy, his left shot, he was loading it up a bit. I'm like, oh, dude, he's loading it a lot. And then he would still land at left. Oh, there it is right there. Actually, perfect timing, Rich. But the thing that I liked about Azamat is that he'd go up top, then he'd go basement, then he'd go up top, then he'd go basement.
Dude,
he'd go head, body. And finally, I think it's the body shots that really, really took a toll on Devin Clark.
Yeah, that body shot. I mean, we talked about it, right? It's one of the things we love the most is body shots.
That's you. You love body shots. I love punches and bunches.
But do you not like body shots? Body shots are the best. I
like body shots, but I like them more when they come in bunches, Will.
Yeah. That's it's something that is happening a lot more, I think. People are mixing in body shots a lot more in MMA, and thank God, because with the small gloves, it's like, what are we doing? Why are we not? With boxing, it's a lot harder to get in there past the elbow. But with the small gloves, you just slip right in. Even if they get their elbow down, there's a good shot. You're landing on the liver. And but yeah, he was setting it up perfectly. Devin Clark had some fun stuff with his lead leg. He'd throw like the little leg kick and the hook kick up top. It was fun stuff.
That's about it.
At the end of the day, man, I like Devin Clark. I like his fights. But at the end of the day, man, it's another one where he took a pretty bad beating.
Yeah. I mean,
Shout out Frank
the
Trigg
shot to the
for
gut.
yeah. Shout out Frank Trigg for instilling that old school MMA mentality in his reffing.
He gave him every opportunity possible.
Yeah. Let him be a warrior.
Fight back.
Man. Yeah.
Fight back.
Watch the back of the head on like the 10th
Fight
punch.
back. Dude, poor guy. Poor guy. But Murzakanov, here we go. Again, now he's 12-0. Let's see what's up next. I would love to see him go in there against another like really elite striker.
It'd be fun, man. It'd be fun. It's hard at light heavyweight. It's hard, man. There's some really, really promising people, some really good guys, and that's about it. And then it's like, man, this is it's still a pretty barren division, you know.
Just
so we can
Johnny
get him
Walker.
There. I want to see. I mean, if Dustin Jacoby loses his next fight, I would love to see Dustin Jacoby versus this guy. But I mean, Dustin Jacoby's on like a 20-fight win streak. HLB Comer coming in saying his father screaming at him did not help at all. Terrible approach. Yeah, every Devin Clark fight is just his dad screaming at him. And it's like, yikes. He's like putting his teeth back in. His dad's just screaming at him. And you're like, what are we doing here?
Rough, dude.
It's a rough go. But somehow he's on a $75K show money contract.
There we go. All right, so he's a $75K show and win.
Yeah, so $75K to show, $75K to win. So he got $75K. And Azamat is on a 12-12, so he got $24,000 for that fight.
Wow.
What are we doing, man?
Wow. Okay. Well,
12,000.
Hey, great fight, Azamat. Great fight.
Great fight.
Making a name for himself. For himself.
It's an opportunity, you know.
It's not a career. All right, we'll go on to the next one. Oh,
did this one also make you almost cry?
Talk about heartbreaks, man. I know that earlier Regen was talking about heartbreaks. This was one of my heartbreaks. I am a big Ariane Lipski fan. Gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. She's fantastic. But she's also shown some serious skills. That knee bar that we saw from her that one fight too. You know, she's shown that she has some skills. Now,
that knee bar was terrifying.
Priscila Cachoeira, though.
Yeah.
Cachoeira.
Cachoeira.
So many KOs in that
tank,
first
man.
minute and a half. Absolute tank. Now, I don't understand why you would stay in there with Cachoeira.
Stay in the pocket, man.
Stay in the pocket. And that's the fight in Lipski. That's one of the things I love about Lipski. She's got some fight in her, right? But you see she catches Cachoeira. I just love saying that name. With that right hook.
It's a great one.
And I think she catches her that one time and she's like, I could trade.
The old Stipe versus Francis.
Yes.
Stipe caught Francis and he stepped back and he was like, oh, okay.
I could trade with this guy. Yeah. And this kid, she's like, I could trade with this girl. And
like, I'm the queen of violence.
I could see her just like sit back up, probably with like a smile on her face, like, yeah, let's do this. And she just starts throwing bombs. And then I was like, okay.
Bondolay style.
Perfect opportunity, Lipski. Use your footwork. You know, step off to the side. Get her at an angle. Do this.
You know?
And instead, you see her bite down on her mouthpiece.
Just start trading.
And just starts trading. And I was like, oh, no. Here we go.
She's the queen of violence,
over. I mean, you don't get that nickname by not liking violence and partaking.
But Cachoeira, once she caught her with that right hook, over.
Oh, dude, it was a done.
She caught her with the left, made her take a step back, and then the right just shut her off.
Yeah, when she took the step back, that's when I was like, okay, it's okay. Perfect opportunity. Circle up. Let's do this. Let's go. You know? And then not at all. I was heartbroken, man. I was heartbroken.
Shout out H.O. Gomer. First says, "What's up, boys? How's Mr. Boostmaster doing today?" Shout
He's out, back
Rich
today.
Back. Yeah, as you can tell, the show's running smoothly, so you can tell that Rich is back. Regen says, "Still here, editing my life away."
Man.
And then HW Comer has a great comment, but we're a family show.
Can't post that, but yes. It was a fun fight. Cachoeira is going to be a serious problem for anybody that decides to just stand there and trade with her.
She's not going to be here for a long time. She's not going to fight for the title, but she's going to be here for a good time. And anybody who's willing to trade with her, we're going to have exciting fights.
There's the right shot that just landed right on that beautiful jaw, man.
Yeah, broke the jaw, broke your heart.
Broke everything, man. Broke my spirits. All right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about this one too long.
Yeah, real quick. Lipski got 40K, so she's on a 40K show, which is not bad.
Okay. Not too shabby.
Cachoeira on the same contract, so she got 80K.
All right, Cachoeira. There we go.
Cashing out.
Cashing out Cachoeira, yes. Before that, we had Gerald Meerschaert versus Bruno Silva. Who did you pick in this one? Did you pick Silva?
I picked Silva like everybody else picked Silva because Bruno Silva was in a dogfight with Alex Bejeda and has finished people and has looked very good. And Meerschaert, he wins, but goddamn does he look awful. And except for this fight, he looked fantastic.
Yeah,
he looked fantastic in this fight.
The same thing I was asking of Lipski is what Meerschaert was doing.
Yeah.
Bruno Silva would blitz in. He would go with the long range left or right, and Meerschaert would just sidestep.
Yeah,
he would sidestep, and I was like, dude, Bruno
makes
Silva
it a level change.
It's crazy, but he was expending a lot of energy with these long shots, and he'd go and he'd try to put these long combos together. And Meerschaert was so elusive yesterday, which is weird.
Yeah, just out of range. Yeah, not the most elusive guy, but yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the game plan against Bruno Silva is grapple heavy in the first round, tire him out, and then do what you want for the rest of the fight. And that's what Meerschaert did, man. Meerschaert grappled early, took all his gas tank out, and then just did everything that he wanted to do. And the shot that put him away, man, just so clean, just from the outside. The difference maker, instead of Bruno Silva swinging wild, he just gets there with his feet, tosses it in, drops him, finishes it real quick. Easy peasy.
Yeah, HLB Comer coming through and saying, how was this the same Silva who fought Bejeda? That's what I'm saying.
Because Bejeda didn't grapple.
He was down to just swing him back.
Yeah. Both just want violence.
Meerschaert, an absolute veteran too, man. Did you know that this was his 50th pro fight?
Yeah, crazy.
50th pro fight, Meerschaert.
Yeah, he's been in there, man.
Now training with the boys at the gym formerly known as Sanford MMA.
Yep.
And they're saying that this was a great switch for him. He's enjoyed the transition. Maybe we see a different Meerschaert going forward.
Yeah, maybe we see GM4.
Oh, dang. The newest version. Upgraded version.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the same ring to it, though.
No. But, yeah, the finish was great. The finish was great. Drops him, does what needs to. Didn't punch himself out trying to finish him. Just grabs the neck.
Calculated finish.
Yeah. Meerschaert. The vet. He's a vet.
All right.
So Meerschaert or Bruno Silva gets 40K, so he's on the same contract as Cachoeira and Lipski.
Okay.
Shout out Meerschaert. Got 146,000.
Good for him.
He got a bonus too for the finish, but still.
Yeah. Cashed out,
man.
Not too bad. All right. Now we have about 15 minutes left here before we hit the hour mark. So
no, he got 73 and 73 from Meerschaert. Never mind.
Good for him.
Yeah. We might not get to all the fights.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, a lot of these we could probably just breeze through because they're quick finishes. We'll go through. Up next, Angela Hill versus Lupita Godinez.
Angela Hill won a split decision.
Crazy. As soon as I heard that it was a split decision, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hey, shout out George.
Hashtag podcast forever.
Hey, our boy George. It's been a minute. But yes,
massive Cheeto fan. Probably stoked.
That's probably why he's on right now, because he wants to hear us talk about Cheeto Vera. But Angela Hill, like you said, always on the wrong side of close decisions, right? Mm-hmm. She got cracked a few times that first round. But it seems like that's what Angela Hill needs to wake up sometimes. She just needs to get punched in the face a few times. And then after that, she used her footwork. I love how she mixed it up. A few times Godinez coming in, dropping her head and trying to come in with a straight right. So Angela Hill met her with a knee, a flying knee a couple times.
That's the thing. Dude, that flying knee, she ran into it. I don't know how Godinez just ate that. It snapped her head back this way, and she ate it. That was
The Mexican
nasty.
fighting spirit.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. She had a choice. But that was another really fun fight. We always cheer on Miss Angela Hill. She was, I believe, the biggest underdog in this card, wasn't she? At minus
Oh, I
or
don't know.
plus like 280, I think, or something like that. All
Yeah,
of them seem to be pretty close.
I picked Godinez,
How
but I
dare
was like, man, I should be picking Angela in this one. I feel like Angela has the skill set to just kind of like stay on the outside and hit her with the long straight shots. And I was like, Godinez. I should have just went with Hill. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Your boy over here picked Angela Hill, overkill Hill. And
Once it went to the split decision, I was like, oh, we got this.
not gonna lie, this must be the 5th time in a row that I've picked Angela Hill.
Yeah.
First time that I won.
Yeah.
Picking Angela Hill, so good for Angela Hill. Really
Also-
happy for her. She stays ranked in the top 15.
Yeah, also good for Angela Hill. Got 190K. She got paid more than Dominick Cruz in this card.
Hey, there we go. Good job, Miss Angela Hill.
Yeah.
All right. We'll skip the Buday and Zeski fight, or Zeski.
Yeah, shout out Buday, though. He's from Slovakia.
Hey, there we go. Shout out.
That's what's up. Shout out
That's
HLB
what's up.
Comer.
There we go. We also had Nina Nunes versus Cynthia Calvillo. You wanted to cover this fight for some reason?
That's a retirement fight. Got a good win.
Yeah. Did she retire? I didn't even pay attention.
She retired. Yeah, she retired.
Good for her, man. Good for her.
Yeah.
That's
about it.
Calvillo. She is who we thought she is.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now we have Miss Nina Nunes that can ride off into the sunset, taking care of her little baby Reagan, I believe.
She said they're about to have another one.
About to have another one supporting her wife, Amanda Nunes, who is possibly the greatest woman fighter of all time. I mean, what a life. You could ride off into the sunset at this point.
It's all is well in the Nunes household.
Absolutely. All right. Before that,
great fight.
We had Gabriel Benitez versus Charlie Ontiveros. Charlie Ontiveros coming out looking like a damn world beater, man, with those kicks.
Dude, he looked like a completely different guy. He was like, yeah, Kevin Holland ragdolled me. Whatever. What of it? I'm different now. And he's throwing these hook kicks. Yeah, he's throwing hook kicks, spinning kicks, straight shots.
Benitez.
God damn, he looked good. If
Benitez
Benitez
with a few of those.
Yeah, if Benitez wasn't the vet that he is, he would have ran straight through him. But Benitez is a vet, and he said, "That's cool if you want to show all this flashy stuff. I will get to you," and did.
The way he picked him up and just slammed him down,
tossed him down,
was so disrespectful.
It reminded me of remember Tim Boach?
Tim Boach,
man, legend. He looked like a damn gorilla. He I forgot who he fought, but he head and arm through him and just legit didn't follow up with it. Just head and arm tossed him into the fence. Guy was upside down, flew into the fence, and then smashed him after that. That's what it reminded me of. You just picked him up and tossed him down.
Yeah, and like I said, super disrespectful. And that was the beginning of the end, right?
That was the beginning. I mean,
Mr.
look at this. You would think that's the finish of the fight. Yeah, there's the toss.
There's the toss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, fun fight.
Ontiveros' collarbone held up. Didn't break.
Real quick. HLB Comer said terrible decision in the Buday fight. Just want to say that even though that is our boy, I thought he lost the fight. I thought the exact same thing going in. I thought it was going to be 29-28 is what I thought it was going to be for Zerker.
Yeah, I did pick him though. So I was happy that he got the decision.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah,
right.
I thought I thought it should have been 29-28 the other direction.
Agreed.
Good fun fight though. I did like it.
Now we have Tyson Nam versus Ode Osbourne. Before that last fight we just covered,
you can
Tyson
really
Nam
count.
Back.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, come back after that ACL tear.
Yeah. You can really, really count on a fun first round in any Ode Osbourne fight, win or lose.
For sure.
I think we've covered this before, but he has a first round finish with punches, a first round finish with strikes. That's 2. He's been knee barred in the first round. He has a triangle in the first round. He got a punching knockout in the first round. He got another triangle in the first round, an armbar in the first round, got guillotined in the first round, knocked out Jerome Rivera in the first round, got knocked out by the flying knee from Manel Cap in the first round, got a first round knockout against Adeshev, and now this time knocked out in the first round. He's only been out of the first round twice, I think.
Wow. Wow. So
First
if
round.
you're the UFC and you're like, you know what? I think these first couple fights are going to go a little long. We're going to need something in between to
Throw
kind of,
Ode.
catch up. Ode. Let's put
Yeah,
Ode in there.
dude. Or very good bets to make is not to go to decision anytime Ode fights.
Yes.
And
Yes, absolutely.
he was cracking Nam, man.
Yeah. HOB Comer saying you could see Nam was happy to be back in the octagon, got really emotional after the win. Great win. Yeah, I love that, man.
Even during the fight, dude was smiling. He had a
Smiling.
massive smile the entire fight. It was crazy. And
Hey, some people are just fighters, man.
yeah.
Like you could tell that this guy really enjoys being in there.
Yeah, he also said Ode throws that he like almost faints with that jumping knee, and he said the first time he did it, it like opened his eyes. He's like, okay, yeah, we saw that. I know what to do with that. And then yeah, but really, what was Ode thinking jumping around like that? This is UFC, not Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, Rich Cadwell read that and was like a video game reference. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, Crash sucks. But Ode, yeah, he throws that. It's almost like a haha, don't come in here. You'll catch this flying knee. And Nam was like, cool. I'll just wait until you land and cracked him with that overhand. That was
the thing
nasty.
I was really impressed with was Nam's defense the entire time. Very technically sound. The hands were always covering. He throws something, the other hand comes right back home. His footwork, you see his white stance there, just allowed him to kind of step out really quickly and then step right back in really quickly too.
Yeah.
But Nam looked really good, man.
It reminded me of towards the end of his career, or towards the end of the resurgence, Robbie Lawler, where he shells up and he's just like mixing it, rolling, blocking stuff. And I was like, man, if Nam's not careful, he's going to get stuck in defense mode, right? And Ode can just keep throwing volume, even if he's blocking everything. If you get stuck in defense mode, you're not going to win. So luckily he was able to not get stuck like that, because it's very easy if you're rolling with shots and you're like, haha, none of this is getting through. I can do this all day. And then the judge is like, yeah, but you're losing, Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good from Tyson Nam. This was a good win.
Which, hearing that sound that you made right now, I could picture Nam with his smile doing that during the fight. It's like, haha, like just everything coming his way, just avoiding everything. All right, man. But yeah, excited to see Nam back in there, and always excited to see Ode Osbourne win, lose, or there'll be no draw.
Yeah, I remember Ode Osbourne's debut. Draw. It was a Connor card, and he in the pre-fight interview he said, at the end of this event, people are going to look back on this and think this was the Ode Osbourne card, not the Connor card.
Oh, savage.
Classic.
Classic. All right. How much did they make?
Whether it's true or not, it's that's another story. But yeah, Ode Osbourne got 28K. And Tyson Nam got he's on a 25 and 25. So he got 50K.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Some would say not enough.
Let's go into another debut with Josh Quinlan going up against Jason Witt.
A little bit of controversy in this one, huh? Quinlan and Witt were supposed to fight last week, and they were like, hey, you tested positive. You're off the card.
Yeah,
and he was like, yeah, but I took that a long time ago. And they're like, all right, cool. We'll get you on the next card.
You need to be a part of every UFC meeting in the conference room. I could just see you talking that way, just like, yeah, all right, whatever, dude, it's cool.
Oh, you took it a long time ago? It was before you were in the UFC? We can't punish you for that, I
mean, John Jones was in the UFC, and then he kept on hitting with those picograms. So
yeah, and this was the same thing. The M3 metabolite. They're like, that worked for Jones. We'll just keep saying that. And
picos after picos, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Quinlan coming in and just lands that left shot, man, and that was a nasty KO. Lights out. He had the wherewithal to to stop.
Yeah.
It's bad when your opponent feels bad for you after you hit the mat, hit the canvas, and he sees your eyes rolling in the back of your head. You go stiff because he went close fist, halfway open fist, and then he stopped right before you hit him.
And Bisping was just having PTSD. He was like, oh.
Looking for Hendo.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, it was exactly the same, right? Got dropped, except it wasn't the H-bomb. It was just the left hook. But yeah, the way he was coming down, full body weight coming into it, Bisping was probably like, I've seen this before. play before every one of my fights.
He closes his one good eye, like just
Yeah.
waiting for it to. Poor guy. All right, but hey, so Quinlan
Quinlan's
again
someone to watch.
now 6-0. He looks the part, man. Dude is chiseled. He's got some power.
Well, it's one of those things too. A lot of the times you see someone brand new, and they're like wobbly. Every time they get hit, it like kind of knocks them off balance. They get kicked in the leg and like, whoa, and they're throwing shots and they're kind of off balance. Not this guy. He's very much centered in everything. He eats a kick, he just takes it, right, or he didn't check anything, but or he just counters it with the left hook. But even with the takedown, Jason Witt with the takedown gets right back up. But never did he look out of position or like over himself. Even when he was taken down, he was still kind of relatively like composed. His body was composed. So yeah, he's definitely someone to watch out for because that's something that you don't see early on.
HOB Comer saying, "Are you really trying to win if you don't cheat, though?"
Yeah.
I'm guessing you talking about Quinlan or
yeah. It's true,
now.
though. They're all on something.
If you had a guess, what percentage of UFC fighters were on something right now?
100.
You think so? 100%?
I think 100%.
No way. Even Nate Diaz?
He's on something, man. I'm done pretending, dude, because, dude, like, this is a professional sport, man. There's some money to be made. Quinlan was on a 10K and 10K, so not that much money. But, like, if athletes in college are all on gear, you think they just stop when they start fighting tougher competition? Like, it's just not the case, man. Like, I remember when me and Josh went into a vitamin shop or something like that in Salinas, and shout out, I'm about to expose Hartnell College, but we go in.
Oh dang! Wait, hold on, man.
No, we're burning bridges.
Oh no,
but,
wait.
We go in, and Josh is like, because Josh is playing baseball at Gavilan, right, in Gilroy, and the college, and he's like, oh hey, I just want to put on mass. Like, what do you guys have for like protein powders and stuff? And the guy was like, the guy behind the counter was like, also, to be fair, this place is no longer in business. Now it's like a poke bowl place or something. But guy behind the counter is like,
good choice though.
Yeah, the guy's like, do you just want steroids? And me and Josh looked at each other. We're like, what? And he was like, you play baseball, right? Or I think Josh mentioned that he's played baseball or something. And he was like, yeah. What division is it? And Josh is like, I think it's like D3 or something. And he's like, so they don't drug test? And he's like, no. And he's like, oh yeah, everything on this back wall, like you can take them. They're not gonna, they won't catch you. And he was like, what? Really? Like, he's like, yeah, it's all pretty much testosterone. And he was like, we supply like the entire Hartnell baseball team. And we were just like looking at each other like, what is this dude doing? Yeah. But I mean, that's the case, man. Like at this point in the day, like in the game, like you're not going to get to the professional level unless you've taken something.
I didn't know that you were part of the underground vitamin shops plaguing the United States.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like that's what happens. There's these drugs that are on the ban list. A company comes in, they change the molecular structure just a bit, so it's technically not the banned thing. And then you can take it all you want until they're like, oh, we found this one. That's now on the ban list. And you're like, cool. And now we have all this bullshit with the picograms because people are pulsing because they've taken it in the past. We're never going to get around that. It's all a sham. It's all like a...
Precedence has been set now. You know what I mean?
It's too late. It's too late.
Yep.
And I'm okay with it. Tatis Jr. just tested positive, and he's like, I had ringworm. And you're like, what?
Hey, dude, Barry Bonds had arthritis. You know what I mean? So it's all good.
Yeah, they're all on it. It's just, it is what it is, man.
All right, man. We'll move on to the last one here. We had a Youssef Zalal versus Damon Blackshear.
I loved this fight. This fight was awesome.
It was a great way to start off the card.
Yeah, Zalal is Zalal's always game, always fun. And Blackshear, this is his debut, short notice debut. I picked Blackshear because I thought his grappling looked really good in the stuff that I could find. And it did, dude. Like, he got taken down a couple times, but instantly thrown up for triangle, armbar, the attacks the leg to get the sweep to get back up. And then immediately when he switches to his offensive grappling, dude, like butter. He's taking the back. He's slipping things in. I mean, he tried to get that crucifix, old school crucifix from the on the bottom crucifix. Fun grappling. I think he just wore himself out, going so hard with the grappling.
Such fun transitions in that first round, man. And then, the third, you could tell that Blackshear just gassed, absolutely gassed. How did you have this one scored?
I had it a draw.
You know what?
I had Blackshear win the first
fight,
two.
At the end of this fight, I thought to myself, "Holy shit, they got it right."
Yeah, same. I was like, rarely did they get the draw right. I thought 2 10-9s for Blackshear in the first 2 rounds, 10-8 round for Zalal in the third. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It was a really fun fight.
But now, how are you going to tell me that Zalal's third round was the same as Nate Landwehr's second round?
Yeah.
It's just, they're different.
They're
that was
totally
a 10-7, man.
I mean, Zalal and Landwehr are just different. They're built different.
They're just built different, man.
They're just built
Sal
different.
D'Amato, man. He gave it a 10-8 in the third.
He's been stepping his game up, man. I think he's been
really
tuning into the podcast, and he's thinking like, hey, these guys are giving me a tough time, but it's for a good reason, and I need to step my game up.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I can take constructive criticism.
Thanks, Will Romero. Yeah. But here's a shot of the call for the draw.
Zalal's face, man. I missed that watching it live, man. That's hilarious.
Zalal was like, "What?" But it's like, no, dude, Zalal that was pretty money.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty money. Oh, shout out
Monster
to
Tony.
Monster Tony. He said, "I just said that Sal has been doing way better. He has. It's really not just us that's noticing. Anybody that pays attention to the sport knows Sal D'Amato's name, not for a good reason."
Yeah,
but recently,
and still, you know what I've been seeing a lot too on like forums and stuff is a lot of people being like, "Yeah, it's it's crazy when you agree with a Sal D'Amato scorecard." But I've been seeing that comment for the past like 2 months now.
Yeah.
So is it crazy? Maybe it's not crazy anymore. Maybe
they put the commentators through a judging course.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah,
they probably put Sal D'Amato back in there.
Maybe they're like, "Hey."
Yeah.
We know, but like, let's just for the sake of it, and go in with an open mind. But
or they're like, hey, Sal, we need somebody to go in there and teach this course to teach the commentators about the scoring. And in reality, they're like, hey, let's have Sal teach us so he has to read through the book again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
also, shout out Sal. You want the conspiracy theory version? The conspiracy theory version is
here we go. Hold on.
Nobody bets on the draw. The odds are very stacked against the draw. Sal D'Amato, very, very high-profile gambler. Everybody knows him as a Vegas guy. He gambles a ton. You're not supposed to bet on fights that you're scoring, but if you can influence to a draw, you can bet the house on a draw.
That's some big earnings, man.
That's some big earnings.
Ooh.
Shout out Reese with the sound effect. You know what else happens with the draw? Is neither fighter gets their win bonus. So
hey, that means that they might be able to afford additional performance of the night bonuses, right?
Yeah. Blackshear got a cool $12K for this fight.
Ooh, Monster Tony with some inside information. He says Sal D'Amato was just at a convention, was explaining how he has to make his decisions. He says a 10-8 has to be a guy not just dominant, but trying to finish.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's not about if they were even really close to finishing in the 10-8 anymore. The rule set does say like if there is a discerning difference, right? If it's an obvious that this person won that round, it's supposed to be a 10-8. And if that's how it should be or not, that's the way the rules are written now. So I mean, that third round was very clear. It was a very clear round.
Very clear. And that was it for the fights.
Actually, let's do this. Did Sal D'Amato judge on the Nate Landwehr fight?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because he gave this fight the 10-8. No, he did not. He did not score that card. I wonder if he would have scored that at 10-7.
Who the new Sal D'Amato? Maybe.
I think he might have. If he scored this at 10-8, I mean, you can't watch this fight and say that's a 10-8 round and then score that Landwehr fight the same. It's just not.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's a tough world out there for judges.
You gotta watch the fight. You gotta watch the fight. You gotta just pick who wins.
Ringside?
So hard.
Yeah. Ringside, dude. Come on.
So hard.
All right. That was it for all the fights, though. That was it for all the fights. It was a fun night. Again, I think this was another week that exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, my expectations were pretty low in this one. There were some fun fights, man. The battle of the Yazmins was amazing. The Landwehr fight was pure entertainment. The Blackshear Zalal fight was a great fight to start, I thought. Yeah, pretty good card. Got to see Dominick Cruz get knocked out.
My heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
He's
lot of good stuff that happened.
I'm going to go back and train with Lloyd Irvin. And just immediately gets his nose broken and KO'd by a high kick.
Damn, dude.
Chito Vera out there doing the Lord's work.
We have a moment of silence because we did have some fights that did not make it onto the card.
Yeah. Let's see. So, moment of silence. We got Zalal was supposed to fight Christian Quijones. Didn't happen. Much better, I think. We got it here. Look at that. Nascimento versus Malcolm Gordon. Gordon withdrew. Aspen Ladd versus Sarah McMahon. Ladd withdrew. Something's going on with Ladd. I don't know what's going on over there. Yazmin Jauregui was supposed to fight Estela Nunes. Nunes was injured. They got the other Yazmin to come in, put on a banger. But the big one that I was looking forward to was the Alexa Grasso versus Arujao. I don't remember how to say her name. Araujo. Grasso withdrew. She's pulled out of a lot of fights in her career, and it's a bummer because every time she fights, it's like, man, she's very talented. Just be more active.
George saying Grasso versus Araujo would have been fun. Yes, I love Grasso's boxing, man. Some of the best boxing in that division.
Much fun, yeah. Yeah, it would have been that would have been a good one.
How about monies, Will? Because I'm sure they paid out more bonuses because they saved paying the win money for that draw in the beginning. Talk to us about monies.
A lot of guys on like a 10K show contract or 12K. Ontiveros got 12K.
Must have been throwing bonuses around.
Yeah, they threw around like hotcakes. Marlon Vera got he got the 50K for knocking out Dominick Cruz. Onama and Landwehr got the fight of the night, obviously. And Tyson Nam got a bonus against Ode for the first round KO, the Fedor Orlovsky special. And that's it.
That is it.
That's all she wrote.
Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. Just like Sal D'Amato has taken notice of what we're saying, one day Dana will log in, sign on, and say, hey, these guys are talking about the way that we should structure these bonuses. Let's make a change.
Did you see what he said recently?
Oh, yeah.
Like this week?
Where he's like, these fighters are getting paid what they should be getting paid.
He said, everyone's always talking about fighter pay and stuff. It's never going to happen while I'm here.
See, and Monster Tony, thank you. All finishes should be bonuses. We've said this before. We said it in the last couple episodes. Again.
Hey, shout out for the sub too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, how did you find us? How did you find us?
Oh, a good question.
Interesting to know. But yeah, that's the move, right? They say, oh, you need to incentivize the win, so we split their paycheck in half. It's like, no. It's just an excuse to pay them less. If they really wanted to incentivize, they would just give a bonus for finishes all the time. But that's not what they do because they don't want to. It's just an excuse to pay them half their money.
Absolutely. Preaching to the choir. But hey, thank you everybody that joined us. We've always said whenever we have more people hopping on and talking, I absolutely love just interacting with everybody. Shout out to George for hopping on, Monster Tony hopping on and subbing, HLB Comer always on, Regen is now on. I mean, just a blast. Chris Cabrera joining us as well. Everybody.
Monster Tony said YouTube search only live UFC podcast. Look at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been talking about maybe changing the time or I don't know. We've been talking about or entertaining the idea of changing the time, but if we're the only live show Sunday mornings, it's kind of nice.
We just keep it. Who knows? All right. Yeah. But yes,
on YouTube, great show, guys. Excellent analysis.
If you subbed, thank you. If you subbed, make sure that you also hit the notification bell because sometimes we do fighter interviews. Go back and watch those if you haven't. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, we also do some fight companions or watch parties, viewing parties, whatever you want to call them. But we do those every once in a while. You can also find us on Spotify, Breaker, Podcast Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found now. I tend to prefer the YouTubes because you can also see the pictures that we're posting. You know what I mean?
Twitch is also video. I think we have video on Spotify as well.
Yes, absolutely. And then social media.
Yes, at Story the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everywhere.
We need to get better about posting more on social media.
Yeah, we're not great at it.
No. But like any DMs or anything like that, wherever anybody wants to talk fights, upcoming fights, stuff like that, we always respond to the DMs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Whenever you want to slide into our DMs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Usman versus Edwards too next.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun. You want to talk about the upcoming fights real quick?
Yeah, real quick. You got Usman versus Leon. Great fight. Paulo Costa's back fighting Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold somehow got that fight. Yeah, looking shredded. Hopefully makes the weight. Aldo versus Marab is a banger. Cannot wait to see that. Tybura versus Romanov is a great fight. Always good to see Romanov in there. Hopefully that fight doesn't get canceled. Tyson Pedro's back versus Harry Hunsucker. Watch the leg kicks. Let's see. Yanana's back. Luis Saldana versus Sean Woodson is a great fight.
Richie Lang, he's back.
Richie Lang versus Jay Perrin, that's a great fight. Daniel De Silva, that's a fun one. Amir Albazi versus the younger Figgy. Yeah, it's a good card, man.
Francisco Figueiredo, also known as a great value Figueiredo, yes.
Yeah, Walmart version.
Yes,
very good
absolutely.
fight or card though.
Should be fun. So that Saturday we also have Joshua versus Usyk.
Usyk, yeah. Shout out to Mike Perry and BKFC. I totally forgot about that.
Also, Paige Van Zandt is going to be on the same card as well, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, maybe we do a fight companion for that one. Oh, wait.
Depends
on what time I fly back in, because that weekend will also be the first weekend that Mr. Will Fredrickson will be a married man.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure out. Rich might have to watch the fights that weekend.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out, Rich. And yes, so that's it. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Had an absolute blast. Enjoyed talking fights with everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
Look forward to this upcoming weekend. A lot of fun things going on in our personal lives as well. And I just want to remind everybody that this podcast is produced by Richard Bustos. That's all I got. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.
Shout out Mr. Van Zandt.